You're watching Past the Wire TV.
Hey everybody, welcome in to Pass the Wire TV. I am Big Race Jim flying solo, putting a nice cherry on top of all of our Cigar Mile Day coverage from the Big A. You've got uploaded on the channel already. You've got myself, Gio, and John doing a deep dive on the Cigar Mile itself. We've got some individual race previews. John has his race preview. Gio has a separate race preview of the Demoiselle, I believe. And John took the other stake race that its name is escaping me at the moment. And of course, Charles Trent with the Equibase Race Lens late pick 5 full sequence at Aqueduct. I'm going to go through the Go for Wand, which interestingly enough, in the last couple of years, as we've seen through a lot of these NYRA tracks, when you have a stakes race that's not included in that late pick 5 sequence and is thrown into that early pick 5 sequence, usually means one of two things. And in years past, it meant both of these things. It was going to be a super short field, 4 horses, 5 horses tops, and one of those horses was, an absolute cinch. This year, we don't really have that, even though the Go for Wand goes as race 4 on Saturday. It's a fairly competitive field of 8 horses. So, yeah, there are a couple that will probably end up being long shots and, may or may not have any business being in this race. But the top end of this race, I do think, is evenly matched. So it should be a competitive race. And they're all knocking around at this grade 3 level. We've seen with a lot of these horses, when they do try and step up in that class level to grade 2 or even grade 1 company, they're just simply not good enough. But when they're all racing together, I think this has the makings for a rather decent race. And there's some interesting storylines in here, especially on the 2 horses that I ultimately landed on and the 2 horses that I'll be using in my multi-race wagers. Let's start on the rail with Tizzy in the Sky for Todd Pletcher, coming back after a relatively disappointing 6th place finish in the Ogden Phipps, going against the top end of that older mare division with Randomized, who ultimately won that race over Idiomatic, yet Pretty Mischievous. None of those 3 horses that I just mentioned are running any longer. But you do have this Tizzy in the Sky making this comeback after having not started since that June Belmont Stakes Racing Festival up at Saratoga. And if you go back a couple of races, this horse has plenty of speed figures that fit in this field. She's got a win already over Movie Moxie, 2 back. Movie Moxie also in this field. And, again, a lot of times when we look at Aqueduct, we want a horse for the course. And this is almost as good as it gets. In 7 career races at the Big A, Tizzy in the Sky has won 4, finished second twice with a career best at least career best Brisnet speed figure, which everybody knows that I like, of 99. And I've been rambling on here, and I completely forgot that I had the DRFs loaded. So here we go. Um, I thought her last effort, like I said, a little bit disappointing, but she's knocking heads against the top end of that division. You know, three three Grade One winners. So you know, like I said at the beginning, these horses are doing their best work at that listed stakes and that Grade Three level. But I do think Tizzy in the Sky is a top win contender in here, and one that I'll definitely be using on my multi-race tickets. And a lot of that has to do with her really enjoying the Aqueduct surface, but even more so, I really like the workout pattern that we're seeing from Todd Pletcher, who's, you know, as good as it gets with getting horses ready off of a long layoff. But if you look after that Ogden Phipps, she came right back. She had two workouts at Saratoga over the Oklahoma track. And it must have been, you know, something just didn't feel right because they backed off her and she took a rest until the end of October. But she's got 6 workouts in since that first one back on October 25th. And each one has improved. She's getting a little bit quicker, a little bit quicker, a little bit sharper. So, as we all know, Todd Pletcher, like I said, one of the best trainers out there. I like how he's brought her into this race. You get Flavia Pratt, you get 3-1. Other horses are going to take a little bit more money. I like her as a top win contender because of the big A and because of that workout pattern. She's got some back class and some back speed to certainly fit in here. I think she'll probably just sit right off the pace setters in a nice stalking position. And she is one of the best late runners in the field. And I think she has a really, really strong chance of getting it done. One horse that will likely go off favorite here is this Occult. Not crazy about her in this spot. And again, another one that was kind of knocking around with Idiomatic. Has been facing a lot of tougher horses like Scylla, Shotgun Hottie, Chi-Town Lady had a couple of nice runs at points earlier this year. I just think she's going to be over bet. And in a race like this, where I do think the top end of this race is pretty evenly matched, I'm going to look elsewhere and try and beat this Occult. She did win, and you got to go all the way back to which, you know, again is another sort of concern for me. You have to go back all the way to July of 23 in a Grade 3 at Monmouth to get her last win. Now, sure, she's had a full campaign. Her numbers have improved off of that race. Looks like she's coming into this race with plenty of ability, plenty of seasoning, and you know will be for sure a deserving favorite. I'm just gonna take a stand against her. I feel like she's gonna be a little bit over bet. The other one that I really liked, well, or at least I feel like we should probably touch on this comparative for Brad Cox and Godolphin. I just don't think this horse is fast enough. I don't think this horse really has like any doesn't really have much of a pace advantage in here at all. Um, you know, does she want the lead? Does she need the lead? Will she sit off? The last two races, she sat off and has been pretty flat. Hasn't really done much. Got beat by Tizzy in the Sky. Got beat by Movie Moxie. So, not especially thrilled by this one. Um, even though it is Brad Cox and Godolphin, that alone, probably will take a little bit of money, but you know, 2 of 3 at Aqueduct, fine. But I don't know. Just seems like this horse is going in the wrong direction, and I don't want any part of her in the go for wand. Which brings us to the outside horse, who I also liked, obviously because of Dylan Davis. But again, this horse I feel like has a lot of back class that she can rely on in here. I feel like the pace up front is going to be not necessarily contentious, um, but I do think there'll be a couple of horses situated ahead of her, and that might make it pretty advantageous for her. 3 for 6 lifetime at Aqueduct. I think she's coming into this race really good. Coming out of that ballerina, again, much like Tizzy in the Sky, going against the top end of this division, Society, Scylla, Vava, a seed. If you go back and look in the Ruffian, which was her last one-turn mile here, a grade 2 at Aqueduct, finished third, beaten 5.5 lengths to Soul of an Angel and randomized. So again, this horse, the company that this horse has kept, I think is going to serve her well in this spot. I think she's going to have a couple of horses in front of her, vying for that early lead, trying to be those pace setters, and I think that's going to set up to her advantage. Dylan Davis has won on this horse back on Wood Memorial Day, again in that grade 3, where she did get up over Ain't Broke, a Linda Rice trained and owned, I believe, horse that's also in this field. So I think Shidabhuti is sitting again on another forward move, another nice effort, and is going to be in the mix late with Tizzy in the Sky. One other thing, I know I'm not going to show it, unfortunately, but just looking at the Brisnet, the average class ratings, really a key factor on grass, but also a pretty important factor on the dirt as well. Shidabhuti, Tizzy in the Sky, both are tops in their average class over the last 3 races. And Shidabhuti, like I mentioned, with Tizzy in the Sky, both of them have 2 of the top 3 late pace figures that I really lean on. Shidabhuti, a 101 late pace figure last time out. So I think she's sitting on a really nice effort. Now, these aren't sexy picks, right? I think Tizzy in the Sky is 3-1 on the morning line. Shidabhuti is 9-2. They'll probably be somewhere right around there. I don't imagine those morning lines fluctuating all that greatly. But I'm going to go inside, outside in the go for wand. Tizzy in the Sky in the 1 hole. Shidabhuti coming on the outside in the 8 spot. Those 2 I'll be using in my multi-race tickets. If I had to, right at this moment, make a win prognostication, I'd probably lean Tizzy in the Sky for a win bet. Again, I just thought that the way her workout pattern has been and the way she's been improving and getting a little bit swifter, a little bit more conditioned, a little bit fitter in her last 5 or 6 workouts leading into this race, coming off of a 182-day layoff. I think should put her right in the mix against this competitive group of grade 3 caliber horses. So there you have it. Tizzy in the Sky, Shidabhuti with Dylan Davis for me in the Go for Wand. Again, like I said, plenty of Cigar Mile Day content on Past the Wire TV. Deep dives on the Cigar Mile, deep dives on the Demoiselle. And let me check what that other one is named so I don't completely embarrass myself. The Remsen. Goodness, how could I forget? You know, it came out of the Remsen last year. Belmont Stakes winner and Haskell Stakes winner, Dornoch, and Bluegrass Stakes winner and Breeders' Cup Classic winner, Sierra Leone. So we'll see what we get with the Remsen this year. But John's got that preview. Gio's got the Demoiselle. Equibase Race Lens preview of the late pick 5 on Cigar Mile Day with Charles Trent is also up on the channel. And you just got my insights on the Go for Wand. Have a great weekend. Good luck if you're playing. Thank you for watching Past the Wire TV. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, sign up for tracking trips, get all the information you need all week long, and especially on the weekends, so you can be a better. Have a good night.
Tracking trips at Past the Wire, no matter what your level of play is. You know, people play the horses for all types of reasons. The action, the excitement, the thrill, the challenge. Some, believe it or not, even play expecting to lose. Me, I don't have that problem. I play to win and take down scores and have been doing it successfully for a long time. This is the life I've chosen. Don't go into battle alone. I do that. And you can have me and Tracking Trips as your second set of eyes. You can be a better. Let's win this fight. Patience, discipline, like a cobra, ready to strike at the right time. When we win, we celebrate, and we celebrate hard because the rewards make all of it worth it. Nobody does it better. Tracking Trips at Past the Wire. Be a member, unless of course you hate money.